All right, testing, 1, 2, 3. Let's see if our volume is working. It does look like it's working. It does not. Yes, it does. All righty. Take that off the screen there. So, once again, live streaming here. This is your host, ID Jester. If you are watching this on my YouTube channel, which I post all of my live streams on my YouTube channel, if you're watching it on my YouTube channel later, be sure to subscribe to twitch.tv/IDJester. So when we go live, you can join us. You can help, dictate, ask questions, have fun with us, and post comments and suggestions and all kinds of great things. So make sure we've been doing a lot of live streams lately, and it's really good to get back into live streaming. Hopefully you can join us sometime. Again, that's twitch.tv/IDJester. So thanks anyway. So as you can see, we are going to be playing some Advanced Squad Leader. That's right, ASL for all you people out there. Advanced Squad Leader. I have done a bunch of Advanced Squad Leader stuff on my YouTube channel. If you're not familiar with it, go ahead and do a search or go back through my history there and you'll see. Also, we've been playing a lot of Tigers on the Hunt, which you know is strongly inspired by the Advanced Squad Leader system. And so that has definitely got us back in the mood to do some more Advanced Squad Leader information, gaming, and tutorials or whatever. So, in fact, if you haven't watched our 2016 year-end review of all the strategy games, and I would highly recommend you do that because we talk about strategy games and the best ones that came out in 2016. Hint, hint, Tigers on the Hunt did come out in 2016. Anywho, Advanced Squad Leader, we are going to be using Vassal. We're going to be using Vassal to play this scenario, and we're going to go through it, and we're going to be using the Advanced Squad Leader rules for the starter kit. This will be starter kit number 2, but we're going to be using all the starter kit rules. Pretty much from starter kit 1, 2, and 3. There are some big differences between Advanced Squad Leader and the starter kit, which we'll go into. If anybody has any questions in the chat, we can talk about the differences. Basically, Advanced Squad Leader starter kit is a toned down version, obviously, of the Advanced Squad Leader system. And a lot of the rules aren't incorporated, and it makes it flow and what's the best word? Flow and ease of play, I guess. So if you want to play a tactical World War II simulator, obviously Advanced Squad Leader is the way to go. But if you don't want to go through all the minute details of all of the advanced rules, then definitely pick up starter kits and use those because I find that they play a lot easier and a lot faster than the other ones. We'll talk about some of the differences when we actually get into the setup here. So as I mentioned, we're going to be using Vassal here to simulate our game. We are going to be playing this scenario. But before we actually get into this, I was actually able to get in and find some setups for the scenarios. So with the new version of Vassal, you're able to actually get some setups for some of the scenarios out there. And all of the starter kit scenarios have been put out, and so you can play all the scenarios in the Vassal with already set up with all the kind of the rules and the regulations. It has all the counters here ready to go for you and everything. Really nice job. In fact, I do want to spend just a couple minutes talking about this because I think it's very important. Very, very important. So when I was downloading these setups and stuff, which, you know, obviously very good because then I don't have to go and manipulate and do all this stuff. They happened to be noticed that they were published or designed by a fellow by the name of Patrick Ireland. And the name rings a bell for me because, like many of you out there, many of you, I was just starting into ASL and the starter kits and everything, but I still had no idea what to do. And this is quite a few years ago. And I got on Vassal and I was watching some games and trying to type to some people and asking them questions and, just trying to learn and find out things. And one of the fellas ended up telling me, "Oh, you should check out Patrick Ireland. He'll, send him a message, send him a private message or whatever, and he'll help you. He'll schedule some time and sit down with you, teach you the rules and everything." Which he did. I scheduled a couple, like 4 or 5 sessions with him. We played through a couple scenarios, went through, the basics, and it really kind of reading the rule book and using his help and everything really really got me into the game, and that's where I first started. So Patrick Ireland, was actually instrumental in spending all of his time and effort trying to help me learn the game and a lot of other people besides myself. And it's kind of, like the pay it forward, where, somebody does something for you and then you go out and do something for someone else. And that's kind of the way I've always been with ASL and doing tutorial videos and helping other people out and doing everything because, back in the day, I didn't know anything either. And I didn't, if it wasn't for somebody's help, specifically Patrick Ireland, I would probably wouldn't even have got into ASL. I probably would have said, screw it. It's not worth it. I can't find anybody to help me. And it's not, it's too complicated me for trying to learn. And so definitely, this is just in general terms. If you ever are in Vassal or you ever happen to come across Patrick Ireland, make sure you give him a big thumbs up. Let him know that the effort that he spent many years ago helping me has inspired me to help others as well. So, I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about that because I think it's important that people know that, you know, especially when you're talking about advanced squad leader and very complicated games, there are a lot of newbies out there that are trying to learn. They have no idea. And if people aren't out there helping them and trying to assist them and trying to, spend a little time and effort to help them, they're not going to learn it. And eventually, the ASL system will just die off because all the people that do know it and do play it will eventually die off. And if there's no one new coming into the game and no one new coming into the arena, then eventually no one new will come in and it'll die off. Then we don't want to see that happen. So, anyways, pay it forward, give back, give out, and there's my 2 cents on that. Anywho, let's talk about the scenario now. So here it is in all of its glory again. Great job of setting this up. You can just go into Google and do a search for, like, I think I typed in Vassal ASL starter kit scenario setups or something like that. And you go to the couple web pages and they're able to download them. And you just put them into the folder. When you start up Vassal, you just tell it to point to this to your download, and poof, it just pops up with all this information. So let's actually look at the scenario and talk about the scenario. Oh, it popped up on my other screen. I'll bring this over to you guys. So, as I mentioned in the intro, if you missed our intro, well, sorry, you'll have to watch it on our Vassal channel, or I'm sorry, our YouTube channel. A long way to go. This is ASL Scenario S11. This happens to be in Biscardi Station, Sicily, the 10th of July, 1943. During the pre-dawn hours, the U.S. 7th Army had successfully landed at both Licata and Gela. Unaware of each other's plans, the Italians and the Germans began a series of uncoordinated attacks against the Americans, with the intention of breaking through to the beachhead. In the Gala area, the Italians were attacking with a mobile armored force, while on the eastern edge of the invasion came two columns of the Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzer Division. One of these columns was busy engaging the Americans at Piano Lepo. The other attacked the inexperienced 45th Thunderbird Division at Biscotti Station. With their tiger tanks unable to keep the pace with the dense olive groves in the region, the German infantry would have to overwhelm the Americans without armor support. We're going to be using parts of map board W and X. And here are the victory conditions over here. The German wins immediately upon exiting greater than or equal to 9 victory points off the south edge, provided the Americans have not amassed greater than or equal to 11 victory points. Each squad exited German or eliminated American is worth 2 victory points. Each half squad is 1 victory point. Each -1 single man counters worth 2 victory points. Each -0 and +1 single man counter is worth 1 victory point. All right, so here is the setup. Americans are going to set up first. German are going to move first. It is 6 full turns, and then there is a 7th turn where only the German player will take the 7th turn, and then it will be over. Here are the forces involved in this. Elements of the 1st Battalion, 180th Regiment, 45th Division are scattered troopers of the 82nd Airborne Division. The LR is 2, and they can set up anywhere. We have 2 747s, 3 666s, 2 346s, a 9-1 liter, an 8-0, 2 bazookas, and a 60 millimeter mortar. The Germans, elements of the Panzer Grenadier Regiment H, Hermann Göring Falschen Panzer Division ELR-2, enter on turn 1 along the north edge. They have 7 467s, 4 447s, 2 247s, 2 237s, a 9-1, an 8-1, and a 7-0 liter. They have a medium machine gun and 3 light machine guns. Special rules. Treat all off-board terrain as if it exists, which is very important. And we won't look at the aftermath. Don't look at that because we don't want to show you what actually happened. So there's the scenario card from Scenario Starter Kit 2 S11. A long way to go. So we're going to delve into this scenario here and spend some time with it. All right, so first thing we'll look at over here on the right-hand side, disclaimer, setup is provided as a play aid. Although care was taken to develop this setup, you're encouraged to refer to the original scenario to confirm setup accuracy. So again, I think based on everything I saw so far, it looks really good. So here's the American reference, American bazooka, a great play aid. So you don't need to keep flipping the counter over to check everything. We can kind of see what the bazooka is. So at range 0, it is an 11 to hit. At range 1, it's a 9. At range 2, it's an 8. Range 3, it's a 7. And range 4, it's a 4. And here are all the special notes. So all off-board half hexes are on board. So all the half hexes are still considered on board. Vassal blank boards have been provided for full map scaling, which is good. Layout has a non-standard north. So north is normally, when you look at a map, north is always to the, to the top edge, but in this case, north is to the left. So this is the north section over here where all the blue is. All buildings are single story. And then the German enters on the blue hexes, which are these, obviously, and X's, any of these hexes. Per special rule book 3.3, all offboard hexes are considered to be open ground hexes. So all the offboard hexes are just open ground hexes. Offboard units preparing to enter may not perform any action except for moving. So you can't just set up and then fire. You have to move on the board. All off-board units must enter on either the movement phase or the advanced phase. Units failing to enter are eliminated. So you have to come on. There is no lollygagging and staying off board, or you're eliminated. When off board, units may not be targeted for any defensive fire. So if they're out here, they can't fire and they can't be fired upon. If an off-board unit enters in the movement phase, it may be eligible to fire in the advanced fire phase. During off-board unit's movement phase, it may move to other off-board hexes. Per victory condition, casualty and exit points are awarded as follows. So there's a nice little chart for us to follow. To update the German exit victory point counter, select line 2 of the German exit victory point counter and modify the counter at the end of the text line. And to update the German casualty victory point counter, select line 2 of the German casualty victory point counter and modify the counter at the end of the blah, blah, blah. All right. Phew. So that's that. So basically setup directions as well. Here's setup directions for the Americans. Obviously all the Americans were up here. So I've pre-set up the Americans at this point on the map board, and I'm debating about what to do about this. That's why I thought I would start the live stream, because if anybody has any suggestions. So there's kind of a couple different strategies. We know the Germans have to come in. They have to come in. We can set up anywhere. There's no restrictions. We could set all of our units right here on the edge if we wanted to. The Germans can't fire on us. We can't fire on them until they come on the board. Problem with that is if they end up getting by our front lines, they could just run off the board and we would lose. So there's, I guess, a couple different strategies. You can have units up here on the north. Again, over here is the north on the left. You can have units up here on the northern flank to kind of slow down the advance of the Germans, and then have a couple rear guards in case they start breaking through. Or you can position most of your units in the back, let them come out, and then if we just move these guys back here, for example, you notice there's a lot of open terrain here. Once the Germans take over these buildings and secure their entrance onto the map, they're going to have to cross through some dangerous territory. Now there's a hill here, so we can't fire across the hill. But if the units end up managing to get to the top of the hill, then they're out in the open, they don't have any cover, and we can shoot at them. So two very different and viable strategies that can be used. So I am, there are, as I mentioned in the beginning, there are 6 full turns and a half turn for the Germans, which means at the end of the 6th turn, if the Germans are here, they could just try to run off the map board. And we have no recourse other than, defensive fire to try and stop them. So depending on how you play their strategy on this, it can be very easy or very hard. Again, if you were to set up units, say, if we put a unit here and we put these guys over here and we put this guy up, say, over here, once the German ends up coming on the map board, a firefight will ensue, obviously. Now, bazookas here, with the starter kit rules, can only fire at units in a building. So obviously, putting bazookas back here aren't going to do much good because, this building's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away. We could fire it, but chances of hitting are very, very low. So our bazookas, I think, have to come up here in the town somewhere. Our bazookas are almost have to come up to, because the Germans are not going to stand out in the open. They're going to have to get in these buildings, and if they're in the buildings, then we can use our bazookas against them. So that's one slight advantage we have, but we only have 2 bazookas. So we can't cover every avenue, but that is an advantage the Americans has. So, we could position here if the Germans come on this map board, or I guess maybe even a better one would be over here. Yes, no, I can't shoot this because it crosses the hex, crosses the hillside before it reaches there. So no, I can't see this hex, but I can see this hex. So difficult terrain, to say the least. Difficult manipulation. So that's why I was thinking about maybe keeping some of the units to the back. Not only that, but we have an issue where we only have 2 leaders. That's all we have. We have 1 leader here, 1 leader here. So I'm keeping a leader to the back to help our units back here, and I need a leader to help the other units up in the front, because if they break, obviously we're going to need a leader to help rally them. We only have 2 leaders though, so danger, danger. Again, we could position ourselves here, but the problem is the Germans come on here, here, and here. They create a huge fire group and attack us. Our leader ends up getting killed. Boom. Then none of our units are going to rally, and we're going to be in big trouble. So it's like, do we let them come up? Do we not let them up? I don't know the best way to play this scenario. Again, I'm using our 666s towards the back. You can see we have a leader with a couple of 666s in the back here because obviously they have 6 range. If we keep our 747s in the back, they're not going to have near enough range once they Germans hit this hill or this hill over here. We can actually position a guy here. The half boards are on the board. The half hexes are on the board. And again, I think our bazookas need to be up front. So the question is, do I sacrifice a couple units just to slow down the Germans? And then once they end up destroying these units, they're going to have to make a way across hopefully a death field where we can hem them in. We do have a mortar here. Unfortunately, again, because of the hills and some buildings, it's going to be a little hard unless we actually put our mortar out here in the open to get any view on anything. So I decided to put it there. Mortars cannot start in buildings, so that's not a possibility. We could do like a fighting withdrawal. That's a possibility as well. Just trying to see where the best position for this guy is going to be. If he goes here, units can come on here, here. All right, I will. All buildings are single story, which, as we talked about in our intro here, starter kit rules are fine-tuning ASL to hopefully more people out there, to more individuals, because they take a lot of the rules out that are a little finicky and don't work very well and are very rule intensive. And one of the rules happens to be multi-story buildings, so all buildings are single story. You can't go up and down in buildings, which is good. There's no bypass movement. What other rules are there? I'm sure there's a whole bunch that I can't think of right off the top of my head. There's no human waves. There's no heat of battle. There's no, what else is there? I'm trying to remember. I don't know the exact. I kind of guess I'm going to play my variation of ASL and Advanced Squad Leader starter kit because I don't know exactly what's in the starter kit. I haven't read the starter kit rules for a while, but I thought it would be easier to do a scenario with the starter kit rules on Vassal for people that are interested. We play a couple. Where's this game sold? Love the board game. All right, Warrior Donut. This game is sold. Well, you obviously need the rule book. So the publisher is MMP Multiman Publishing. MMP Multiman Publishing, and you can find out all the information from their website. You might be able to get some of the starter kit rules and the board game, because it's considered board game. If you go online to like coolstuffinc.com, so it's coolstuffinc.com, I think is it. They sell board games. I think you can look for MMP there and see if they still have starter kit and the rules and all that stuff. Let's see. I think we're going to leave that for a setup. Now, whether that's a good setup or bad setup, people. Oh, wait a minute. We got a leader. We need to put a leader somewhere. Where are we going to put our leader? We have a half squad here with the bazooka. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the labels. The labels are great for when we were, down here in the setup. But after we get them set up, then I don't need the labels anymore. So, where are we looking? Label, there we go. All right, we'll get rid of some of these labels here. All right, so leader, label. All right, where should we put the leader? With the half squad, or should we keep him with the full squad? Obviously, keeping the full squad alive is a little bit more important than a half squad. All right, that's what we'll do. Where are we doing? Where are we going? Naval, thank you. All right. We don't have to worry about weather effects in starter kit. No, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to get rid of his label, not make him broken. Yes, I know. Delete that. You unbreak. Thank you. Label. Guess I could have done some of this before we started. Label. But I thought some people might be interested to talk about the setup and everything, because obviously that's kind of important. So take a few minutes just to get rid of these labels. Label. All right. So there we go. So this is a pretty powerful stack with a pretty good leader. So I don't know if the Germans might try to run over this way, keep his units that way. That's why I got this guy over here. We do have the mortar to kind of protect this way. Grain is in season because if we look at our scenario card again, it is the 10th of July, 1943, which means orchards are in season and grain's in season. So I believe starter kit uses these rules. Anyways, I'm going to be using them, so we'll see what happens. All right, so setup for the Americans are done. The other thing starter kit doesn't have is concealment counters. Thank God. Concealment counters, while fun and interesting in a face-to-face game, are a real pain in that you know what. All right, so the German player has a ton of units. This is where the problem lies. I'm just going to slide all these guys over because they're going to be coming in from this side up here. A couple half squads, a couple more half squads, a medium machine gun, 3 light machine guns, and they only have 3 leaders. So leaders are going to be ultra important in this scenario. So before the German player sets up, let me just reevaluate my American setup. I'm trying to think as the Americans, and then I gotta reverse field and then think as the Germans. So with the Americans knowing there is a ton of units coming, they could put some serious firepower, some serious jeopardy. I think I will keep my. I'm so tempted to just pull back. I'm just so tempted to pull back, but if I let them come in, on turn 1, they can be positioned all in these buildings here, and then they basically have 7 turns just to whittle us down. So I need to sacrifice a couple units just to slow them down. So yes, the American player's done. Okay, so poof, I'm now putting my German my German hat on. So we are going to position you there. And as I position them, I'm just going to get rid of the labels. We're going to position you there, label, and you right there. Now we can adjust this afterwards, but just for um, label. All right, let's bring you guys up here. I have a strategy, I think. Label. You know what? Hang on. Before I do that, now that I'm thinking about it, one half squad is not going to be enough. One half squad just to protect that middle is not going to be enough. We need to. We need to sacrifice. We're going to move. All right, I'll just switch those 2 units, I think. Is that going to be enough? Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So back to what I was doing here. You label, get rid of the label there. All right, you guys label. Oh, not conceal. God damn it. Delete. Label. Thank you. Alrighty. Put a couple guys there. Put a guy here. I did it again. What? Bless it. I did not mean to conceal you. I did not make you hidden. Wanted to just get rid of your label. It's funny. Thank God we don't use concealment counters. All right, another squad's gonna come here. Label this time, thank you. Couple half squads. We're gonna put one here. Label. Huh. We're gonna put one. We're gonna put one up here. Label. A couple more half squads. We're gonna put you. What are we gonna go with you? You are going to go to. Yep, we're gonna stack them up. All right. Label. Put this guy. Put our half squads. Oh no 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 no. What am I doing? There we go. Right, no 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 no. You. Thank you. All right. Almost messed up the board. That would have been sad. All right. We have a medium machine gun, a couple eaters, and 3 light machine guns. So. Where are these going to go? That's a good question. We could give the half squads would go from 2 firepower to 3, which is not going to do much good. We will give one here, one in the middle, one in the north, medium machine gun here. All right. Oh, and I forgot to get rid of those labels. And you. Label. All right, where was the other one? This one right here. All right, so sorry about this. All right, there, I think. All right, should have done that ahead of time. Didn't know it was going to be such an issue. All right, we're going to use our 9-1 with the medium machine gun. That should be enough to kill off that guy. Oop, oop, oop. Scroll down a little bit. There we go. Thanks for joining us, by the way. If you are come to the live session, I do appreciate it. Label, get rid of that. Label. All right. We're going to use a 7-0 up here and an 8-1 down here. All right. Damn, that is not a lot of units for the American. Thank God the German player has to go through like a lot of open ground. Jeez. It's all going to come down to these 3 units, whether or not the American player wins or not. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, so let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the setup. I don't think I did. So we're trying to get off the map board, but we can't let the American player end up killing a lot of our units, because if they do, let's see, how many points do they need? Americans have not amassed greater than or equal to 11 victory points. So we don't, if they get 11 victory points, we lose. So that would be bad. And the ELR is only 2. Can I actually ELR a unit from this menu? Oh, yes, we can. Good. All right. So we need to make a little bit of room for the dice here. Make sure we scrolled all the way down to the bottom. Is this our chat box? Yes, it is. Okay, we can see our chat. So we're pretty good to go here, I believe. Pretty good to go, I think. All right, so we'll use our little phase disc because I like using the little phase disc. What I'm going to do here is we're going to zoom in a little bit because it makes it a little bit easier for me and probably you guys at home to be able to see all this. So let me just practice the die roll. All right, so it has the colored die roll already. Good, good, good. Excellent. All right, good. So we'll do the rally of what are we going to do? All right, so nothing there. All right, so we go to the next phase. Yes, all right. So prep fire. Can't use prep fire because remember the rule here in the beginning, all units must either come in the advanced phase or movement phase. So no prep fire, so we're going to go right on to the movement phase. See, we're just cruising right along. We've gone through 2 phases already. See how easy that was? All right, now it's going to get a little more difficult. So we're in the movement phase. So American has to be a little picky and choosy about which units he's going to be shooting at. Because, let's get rid of all the move things. So nothing should show move anymore. No, it's just not good. All right. So obviously the German player is going to select this unit here, this half squad, and he's going to move it. So he's going to bring it 1 to move right there. American player can choose to shoot at it if he wishes, and he chooses not to. And then 2-3, he's going to move in there. Again, the American player can choose to defensive fire. Oh boy. No, it's not going to do it. He's, like I said, he's so many units. I think the American player really has to pick and choose his fights. So go on to this, same thing. You want to shoot? No. Okay, I'm going to move up here. All right, now comes something a little more interesting. Hmm. So, what are we going to do with this? I think what I'm going to do is make the American player think about his actions before I move these guys. All right, so first things first, activate this guy. Again, 2 to move on there. Do you want to defensive fire? He can't see him, so it doesn't matter. Then the German player is going to. Okay, do we want to get him to shoot or not? So that was what was that? 2 to move on there, and yeah, it doesn't matter. You're so screwed. I just let me. I just want to check one thing. It just seems like I just want to check this scenario card. Hello, scenario card. I just want to make sure the Americans have 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 half squads, 2 747s. That's just there. And there, and 3 666s. Okay, he's got all his units. I just wanted to make sure. The German player, he's going to move right there for 4. So what are you going to do, American player? Are you going to shoot or are you not going to shoot? If he shoots, it's just going to be a huge attack. Problem is, he won't be able to defensive fire against anybody else unless they come adjacent to him. And the American player knows what's going to happen. This guy's going to move into this building right here with his machine gun, medium machine gun, and his full squad, and then he's going to try and just take me out anyways. So is it better to try and target this unit or this unit? So the American player is going to pass, believe it or not. So same thing, he's going to move here, and nobody can see him. Do we want to move another one up there? Yeah. All right, I'm going to move here. And, again, kind of like baiting the American. Dude, come on, shoot him, kill him, do whatever you got to do. As soon as he does that, though, he knows what's coming. It's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't shoot him, it's just going to keep moving and cause all kinds of problems. But the American is going to stick by his guns and say pass. All right, fine. We'll move here for 4. So that was 2, 3, 4. And this guy can see him, but yeah, he's not going to shoot him either. All right, so we're going to move 2 and 4. American player is not going to. All right, so now comes what the American player thought was going to come. And the German player decides to assault move there, saving a penalty if the American player chooses to shoot. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Is there a way to, let me just make sure. Okay. So the American player really doesn't have any real incentive to shoot because he's assault move, because he's not going to get the -1 for non-assault move because the guy did assault move, and he's not going to get the -1 for moving out in the open because he's not out in the open. So we might as well just hold on to his fire. And he could use it in the defensive fire phase. That might make a difference. We shall see now that these guys are in the hex. It's hard to say. It's hard to play both people's strategies in your minds at the same time. So we're going to move. These guys are going to go 1, 2. Defensive fire. No defensive fire. Or are you going to take the defensive fire? There's an orchard in between there, and is he gonna come here? Is he gonna go in the stone building? I need to check our rule. I don't know if you pass through the orchard, is the orchard supposed to represent the whole hex side, or if it's just the actual tree limbs. I don't know what the starter kit does, so I need to check out a rule here real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Gotta look at my starter kit rule here. Starter kit, where are you? Here you are. All right, just gonna bring it over here on my other screen so it's out of the way. All right, orchard, an orchard is a hindrance at the same level. Line of sight is there for every orchard hex between the target and the fire. Orchard costs infantry 1 movement vector to enter. Orchard costs an armored car. There is no TEM for an orchard, but because it's not an open ground. Orchards are in season during the months of April through October. Okay, this is important. An orchard hex is considered inherited terrain, so the entire hex, including hex sides, affect line of sight drawn through the orchard. Okay, that's what I thought. But I wanted to make sure I wasn't ripping off anybody. Okay, so the American player is going to shoot the bazooka at the guy in the building and hope and pray that he can do something. So, 2 hexes away, if we look at our little chart over here, it's a 2-hit of 8. And let me check one other thing here while I'm thinking about it. I need to look up the bazooka to see if the TEM comes off the 2-hit or if it comes off of the results table. Bazooka B, I gotta look that up. Bazooka, where are you? 441. 441. All right, 441. Bazooka. All right, bazooka. A bazooka is probably rude for play. A leader can modify the 2-hit. Bazooka attacks on the 8 column of the IFT if it obtains a hit against infantry in a building. If it hits hit, is secured against a vehicle target is resolved. So it's going to be a -3 to his attack. Actually, no. It's going to be. So he's got -1 hindrance. I think the hindrance comes on the 2-hit. It doesn't come off the. once you hit, let me, where is it? Should be listed here, but I don't see it. So, I think there's a chart. Let me look at the chart real quick. I just have to find it. Where are you? All right. So we don't need that chart. Two hit chart. We need the two hit die roll modifiers. All right. Fire-based two-hit die roll modifiers. Fire, pin, non-qualifying use, capture, CX, leader, smoke. Target-based two-hit die roll modifier. TEM. Terrain effect modifiers and hindrances. Okay, so looks like it comes off the two hits. So -1 for the orchard, and he's in a wood building, so I'm sorry, a +1 for, I'm going to get that wrong a lot. I'm used to saying it the other way around. So +1 to hit for +1 to die roll modifier for the orchard, +2 for the wood building, -1 because the guy has a non-assault moved and no out in the open. So it's a -3 to his die roll. He needs, what did we decide? It was an 8. Is that what it was? 2 spaces away is an 8. So he needs a 5 or less to secure a hit. Let's see what happens. We are going to roll the dice. He rolls a 7. 2 is the colored dice. 5 is the white dice. And he has, I should probably get out some counters too. Geez. We'll get out some of these and maybe a couple of these. Maybe a couple of these. Some break, maybe. All right. That should be good enough. Hopefully, anyways. All right. So that was 2 movement points to move there. And then he's going to move here for 2 more movement points. And he's just going to end his turn. That's all he wants to go. Same thing's going to happen up here on the north end. I foresee issues here. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? 1, 2, 3. This one's going to be a little more tricky because this guy's back a little bit. 1, 2, 3. All right. We'll come here for 1. You want to shoot at me, buddy? So what we have here is we have a squad and a bazooka and a leader. Again, he's not gonna, and the guy's just gonna go 1, 2, 3. Same thing with this guy. He's not gonna waste his attack on that. He's gonna look for a little bit juicier target. If one comes available, anyways. This guy's going to assault move there. This guy's going to assault move there. This guy's going to assault move here. So during these assault moves, he chooses to do nothing. This guy is going to move here for 2. Then he's going to move here for 3. Is something juicy going to come along? Since he's a full squad, he can't shoot his inherent firepower and the bazooka. Maybe I should have given a full squad. I should have given a full squad that bazooka down here. So yeah, I think the squad will. He's got to do something. No, he's going to let him go. So then he's going to go 2, 3, 4. All right, then these guys are going to assault move there. That's a lot of firepower. Jeez Louise. Okie dokie. So that is all of their movement phase. The American player could have taken some shots, but as soon as they use that first fire counter, as soon as they get that first fire counter, then they can just run. I mean, if this guy, for example, had used a fire to shoot at somebody, this guy can basically just run right along this, up here because he's not closer. You can't fire again unless somebody is, it's your closest target. So this guy, as long as he's 2 spaces away, can just run right up here and cause all kinds of problems. And we're trying to slow him down, make him go slow. It might cost us some units, which I think it will, but the main goal isn't to destroy the first German that we see. All right. So now we are done with the movement phase. So we didn't actually get a lot of defensive fire. We took one, but we will now go to the defensive fire phase, which is okay. I mean, we don't get any modifiers and such, but these guys are in an open area, so they're going to advance into here anyways, I think, or possibly try to bypass this altogether. Who knows? Does he waste his... Yeah, all right. So the squad here, the 747, is going to take a shot at these guys. So 7 firepower. He's not going to get any bonuses. He might have been able to do a little bit better in the movement phase, but again, as soon as he uses it, allows other people, and then, we were talking, once you've done with your first fire, you're only at half firepower. So it gets worse and worse the more you defensive fire. Anyways, he is going to take a shot at these guys here with his inherent squad firepower of 7. Oh, by the way, we are going to be using the, what's it called here? The indirect infantry fire table, or it's not indirect, it's intermediate indirect fire table. So it gives you more columns to shoot on. It gives you different kinds of results and stuff. So instead of just a normal. And what I'm probably going to do is just leave this on my other monitor here. So it's not in the way all the time. And once in a while I'll flip it back so you can see the result if we get something really interesting or not. Hopefully I'm still recording. Hello. Yeah, okay, looks like we are. I have to check that every once in a while as well. All right, so 7 firepower and no minuses to the dice roll. Let's see what we can do. So we rolled a 6 on the 7. 6 on the 7 is a 1 morale check. So each one of these units is going to have to take a 1 morale check. So the top unit, so 1 morale check means you're going to add 1 to the dice roll. You need to roll less than or equal to your morale. In this case, it's a 7. And our ELR is only 2. So we can't be more than 2 points higher than 7 with our total. All right, so the first guy rolls an 8, plus 1 is a 9. So he is it equal to or greater than? Let me check the roll real quick here. I think it's greater than the ELR. It might be equal to, but let's just double check. A, B, C, D. I think they have ELR. Don't they have ELR? In starter kit? I think they do. It does not. Oh boy. All right, hang on a second. I'm going to have to pull out the big boy book on this. Whoever said this is going to be fast? Not me. Let's do a look in the rule book for ELR. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E. Right before F, buddy. ELR 19. Okay, this number represents the maximum amount by which an unbroken squad has squad leader may fail any morale check without being replaced by a lesser squad. So the most you can fail by is 2. That's what I thought. Has to be higher than your ELR. So he rolled again an 8. He had a 1 morale check, so gives him an extra 1. So that's a 9. That is 2, higher than his normal. So he did not ELR, but he does break. All right, second guy. He rolls a 10. Plus 1 is 11. Now this guy ELR'd. So we can ELR and break. There we go. And last but not least, the third guy rolls an 11. He ELRs. Oh, he's just a half squad. A bunch of half squads anyways. ELR. Bloof. And breaks. So all of these guys, bad news. Good attack by the American squad. All right, now he is going to shoot his bazooka, and he's going to shoot at this hex right here, because he's only going to go through 1 hindrance as opposed to 2. And is this guy it's in a stone building, so -3. It's 1, 2, 3 spaces away. 3 spaces away. 2 hits a 7. And he's going to add 3 to the dice roll. We'll take a shot. Even though if he rolls 10 or higher, and this is before any modifiers, he rolls a 10, 11, or 12 on the dice, he will eliminate the bazooka. He rolls a 6, 7, 8, 9, which is too high. So he shoots it, didn't do much damage, or ricochets off, or whatever, nothing. All right, so this guy is... He's done. He's done. I don't need to put the counters on there because I'm playing by myself, so I kind of know the rules, right? All right, so we got this Yahoo. Does he take a shot at this guy adjacent? What's here? Couple 4, 4, 6s. What ended up happening up here? So yeah, these, okay. It's a lot of firepower to shoot adjacent, but is it better to try and break this guy? He does have a really good leader with him, though. Decisions. I mean, breaking guys is great and everything. Problem is, it also helps slow the Germans down. Yeah, all right, he will. So double firepower is 14 because it's adjacent, but it's a +3 because he's in a stone building as opposed to a wood building. So it's a 14 plus a 3 to the die roll. All right, boof. Oh, you only rolled a 4, which is very good. So 4, 5, 6, 7 on the 14 column. So let's just take a look at this together here. Firepower 14, he rolls a 4, 5, 6, 7 right here. And here is a 2 morale check. So very good. Whoops, keep this up. Very nice. 2 morale check on all these guys here. So the first guy here with the light machine gun rolls an 8 plus 2 is 10. He ELR'd because he rolled 2 more than 2 higher than. So he is going to ELR and break. Second guy, 8 plus 2 is 10. Again, same thing. He ELRs and breaks. Breaks, thank you. Wow. Couldn't ask for much more than that. I mean, it's kind of good we waited on our firepower, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet. All right, this guy can't do anything because he's shot already, and he's just a half squad. So he's done. All right, so that's defensive fire. Again, I don't need to really put these counters on because you guys know what's going on. I know what's going on. It's mostly, for if you have a big scenario and you're not sure who did what or whatever, it's great to use counters, but in this scenario, we don't have that many units. All right, so done with defensive fire. Next, advanced fire phase. This could hurt. This could hurt. All right, well, medium machine guns don't get to advanced fire in the advanced fire phase, so that's a good thing. But this guy can at half firepower with the -1, so it's a 4. Halved is 2 firepower, -1 for the attack. This guy's in a stone building, so it's a +3, -1, so it's a +2, 4 +2 attack. It was a 5, 6, 7 on the 4 column is a pin task check. So the American needs to make a pin task check. And he passes just fine. So let's see what's on the back of this. Flip this over. Bounding fire. No. Advanced fire. All right, he advanced fired. Make some counters here. So he's done. I'm going to do that because it's going to be a little easier. Now we got a choice to make here. I think we're just going to add everybody's firepower up together here. It's going to be -2 even though this guy only has to shoot through 1 orchard. So it's going to be, I'm sorry, it's going to be a +2 to the die roll, +3 because he's in a stone building. But hopefully we get enough firepower. It's going to do something. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 to do 23 firepower. +5. So it's a lot of fire. Oh, no, wait a minute. I added them up and forgot to 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 8 is 23. Half of 23. What is that? 11 and a half. 12 and 12 would be 24. 11 and a half is 23. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 11 and a half. So it goes to the 11 column. So it's a 5, a +5 on the 11 column. 8, yeah, it's not going to be good enough. Okay, that's fine. He just needs to get it in position for next turn anyways, when he gets all of his firepower. So 23 firepower. If you could see, we'll slide this over to see what the 20. So the 23 column, you can see a lot of good results there in the 23 firepower. So yeah. All right. Anywho, what are we doing? I got a lot of things covered up on my screen over here. I need to just minimize this. All right. What are we doing? What are we doing? We are defensive firing. Yes. So these guys all pretty much know that they're done. These guys are all broke. That guy's shot. Now we got these guys here. That's 4 firepower. Halved is 2 firepower. This guy is, what is he in? He's in a stone building. So 4. It's a +3 die roll, so nothing. Let's see. These guys can create a fire group. That's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Half of 11. Well, you know what? Actually, we'll take 2 shots, I think. Let's see. That'd be 7 minus 1. 3 and... So it's going to be a -4 to his attack. Half firepower, 7 is 3.5, which there is a 3.5 column, actually, on the little baby table. 3.5. 3.5 plus 4. That's not going to be very good. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, way too much. All right, this guy is a 2 firepower, and again, 2 plus. He's going to have to roll really good. Nope. All right, nothing. So, whole lot of shooting, but a whole lot of nothing going on. So that is that. Next, route phase. So, attacker has to route first. These guys will route. Where, oh, where does he want to go? He'd like to get back here with this leader, but he would be interdicted right there, and that would be bad. He can actually route to here, because it's not any closer to a known enemy unit. The only known enemy unit to this guy is this guy right here. He does not know that these guys are there. He doesn't have line of sight to them. Just because he can see the counter on the map board, that does not mean he has line of sight to it. He does not know about them. So he can actually route here. The question is, he can also route here. Which would be better? I think actually here is a much better spot for him to route. Why is it a better spot? Well, because the Americans can no longer shoot at him. And if he was over here, the American could shoot at him and re-put the DM counters on him, which we don't want. All right, so that's those guys. These guys here. That guy's out in the open. Okay, so I would have liked to go here, 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 but I can't. I can't go here, then here, then here. I would like to get these guys back with the leader, but I can't do that. Put these guys back because this is an open hex. So you have to route to the nearest closest building and or wood hex. This is closer, but you cannot move adjacent to an enemy unit. So I have to route away, so I'm going to have to move there, which is okay, I guess. So all in all, it was actually a much better turn in the Americans than I had envisioned, but it's not over yet. Oh no, oh no, it's not over yet. We're on the advanced phase. All right, so let's take off these counters. How much are we going to advance? Well, we're going to advance this guy there. Why, you say? again, as the German player, my thinking is he's only got a couple units here. He's going to be able to shoot, but he won't be able to shoot at a whole bunch of units in one hex, right? I don't know. Do I want to do that? The closer I can get to him, the more trouble he's going to be in besides that. Keeping guys out in the open obviously is not a good idea, but the more I separate guys, the more he's got to shoot. And if I get out of these buildings, he can't use his bazooka against me either. So we could just advance everyone up. That's kind of dangerous, very dangerous, especially when you saw what happened with these guys. But they were out in the open, though. If I was move these guys here during the advance phase, he could take a shot at him with his 7 firepower. So it would just be a flat 7, no bonuses. He would need to roll. If he rolls a 7, it's a normal morale check. Or we just stay in the buildings and use our superior firepower to eventually break him. I think those guys aren't going to advance. These guys are going to advance, though. Yeah, this is going to be bad. They're going to advance in there. I knew that was coming. That's a problem. This guy's going to advance here, and these guys are going to advance there. I told you it wasn't over. Because now this guy can't ignore these guys down here, which means if he shoots down here, he can't be shooting at this thing, which means this medium machine gun with a rate of fire of 2 could possibly get several shots on him and do some serious unexpected damage to him. Oh. And now we've got units in the same hex, which is going to cause the next phase to actually take place, which is the close combat phase. So we need to see if there was ambush. You're in a building or indoor woods, right? Do they have ambush in Starter Kit 3? Let's see. That's a great question. Let's go down to the rules and see what they have. I'm not sure they have ambush, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Let's see. Let's see. Do they have a section on CC? 3.8. Let's take a look at 3.8 and see what it has to say, shall we? Sorry, I'm not an expert on the starter kit, but okay, yeah, unless an ambush occurs or one or both sides have vehicles present. All right, whenever an infantry advances into close combat in woods or building has, and this is reinforcing a melee, an ambush can convincingly occur prior to declaring close combat attack. In such case, each player makes a 1 die roll. If either player rolls at least 3 less than the other, he has succeeded in ambushing his opponent. That side has the ambush status in close combat is entitled to a -1 die roll modifier to its close combat and a +1 to close combat attacks against it. All right, so I'm just going to roll the 2 dice The Americans will be the colored dice. The Germans will be the white dice. And so the German player ambushes the American player. He didn't see him in the bushes there, and he jumps out of the bushes into the house as the Americans are probably watching these guys moving down the street here. These guys snuck in the back door and ambushed him. So the German player rolled 3 less than the American player. And so what's going to happen now is the German player gets to decide first. He has 4 firepower. The American is 3 firepower. So it'd be a 1-to-1. And the kill number for him is going to be a 1-to-1. It's a 5. That's fine. He gets a -1 to his die roll, so he will try for a kill. He rolls a 6. -1 is 5. 5 is the kill number. And what happens if you roll exactly broken units are captured? I'm just looking through the modifiers to see if there's anything else that should be applied. I don't think so. Actually, it was a half squad is a half squad. 2 half squads is actually a 2-to-1 for him because he's 2 half squads versus 1 half squad. So it should have been a 2-to-1. So 7's a kill number anyways. So he has killed the American in close combat by ambushing him. See, and I just said just a few minutes ago, and that's why for those people out there that enjoy ASL, watch ASL and everything, play it. This is why, because, literally, 3 minutes ago, I said, oh, that round wasn't that bad for the Americans. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And now, just 3 minutes later, he's lost a unit to close combat, just like that. So these guys all advanced. That was the only close combat we were going to have. That is going to be it. We are moving on to the next phase. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. All right, so this is a good start. I am going to be saving this save game. We're going to call this live stream. This is S11. That's right. Dash S11 turn 1B. We're going to save it. There we go. We'll be able to pick this up again either in another live stream or on my YouTube channel. Whew, we've been going quite a while. Pretty excited. I know, kind of a slow start, talking about things and setting the encounter up and setting the scenario up. But again, you can watch this on my YouTube channel. And if you are watching on my YouTube channel, again, I can't stress this highly enough. Join us on our live stream channel, YouTube, twitch.tv/IDJester, and you can come live and watch and participate and post comments and ask questions and do whatever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to be uploading this tonight to YouTube, and hopefully if it gets a good reception, a lot of people post comments, are interested in watching some more of this, let me know and we will bring you another live stream of this, like I said, or we might just keep recording it off camera and post it on there. Depends on what people say. So if you have a thought or comment, I would highly suggest that you make it in the comment section so I can read it and see Because if no one posts and says, yeah, I want to see more, then I'm just assuming nobody wants to see it, and I'll just play it out myself. If you do want to see it, then post and let me know. All right, thanks everyone for showing up tonight for our game. We had a few visitors. I would like to hopefully get some more guys live and in person. So hopefully we can do that. And yeah, appreciate again, if you missed our intro, Patrick Ireland. If you see him ever on Vassal or know a way to contact him, let him know. Thanks a lot for helping me out many years ago, teaching me the ropes of ASL, and hopefully I can do the same for you guys out there. All right, so I guess that's it for tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. This is ID Jester signing off.